Hi, I'm Madeleine Winter and I'm a hand in hand instructor based in Sydney in Australia and working with parents via the web across the world. And I'm really pleased to be with you here today. And it's great that you got here. There would hardly be a person, I think, on the planet who wouldn't have had their family routines changed profoundly, I think, in the last few weeks. And many of us are now more or less housebound with our kids home from school. And to be really honest, I'm really glad that they're at home. I honestly don't think that physical distancing is possible with small children, and the evidence seems to be that they carry and spread the virus without showing any symptoms. But I'm a little bit worried about how it's all going to go at home. At our place, we've been at home for 3 days and we're already having trouble. Um, and that's just the adults, let alone the kids. So, for many of us, homework is hard to implement. And I'm wondering how it's going to go with school at home. Some of you are already homeschooling, and for you, I think the challenge will be the lack of social interaction and the changes to the routines that you've really carefully figured out so that things go well and you get things done. And others of you are teachers and feel really confident and are looking forward to being able to structure and contribute and be more involved in your kids' education. And many of us that I've been working with are really trying to focus on having this time be one where you're more connected to your kids and you're spending more time together. I just don't know how easy it's going to be. Some of our schools, I think, are offering quite structured learning online, and that's great if your kid can cope with that. And my guess is that older kids will probably have a much easier time of it than younger ones. But, I certainly find homework's a challenge, and many of us struggle with it. And weeks and weeks of school at home, schoolwork done exclusively at home, I really don't know. And this is what happens to us as families. We kind of try to set policy for our family. We try to establish a family culture. We set up routines which work for us. But sometimes the world just reaches in and imposes stuff on us. And we have to figure out how to handle it and make the best of it. And I'm working with parents across the world who are wondering how they're going to manage the school routine now everyone's at home. And without the routine of school and in the isolation of home, kids may have trouble doing their schoolwork. And this is partly because there's more emotional safety at home. It's often the case that our kids won't, because of the safety that we've built, it's often the case that our kids won't just do what they're told. At school they might do it, but at home it's different. And it can be hard for us. It's hard work allowing kids to show their feelings, but it is what creates a safe emotional space, and it's what kids have come to expect of us at home. So they may be able to sort of hold it together at school, they may be able to function, they may be able to comply and even do well there. But when they come home, they unload their emotional backpack, the one that's filled up during the day. And when we can listen to their upset and know that this is what will help them go back to school tomorrow and keep it all together. But now we're all at home all the time. And our kids might have been able to stuff it down and get things done, but it doesn't follow that they'll be able to do that at home. And speaking for myself, I'm actually really not very good at helping with homework. I don't really know how I'm going to go with school at home. I don't know why, but my patience is kind of really quite short around this. And also, I mean, these are extraordinary times. I think most of us have less slack. We're all stressed, and it's not just about the changes to our routines. I mean, many of our families are looking at reduced incomes and uncertain future and possible illness. And we're all worried and we're all short on good attention. And as the world reaches in to disrupt our family life, we have to work out how to handle it. And the message that I want to give you today is do your best, but please don't give yourself a hard time, and please focus on connection at this time. Keep that front of mind. I think these are just really, really difficult and unprecedented times, and the politicians and the heads of education departments have been talking about shifting online to online learning as if it'll be reasonably seamless. But it won't necessarily be that way. There may be technical challenges. There certainly will be emotional challenges. And I think we have to face that our children's education through this time will be disrupted, and it may not work for your kids to try to get through the same curriculum at the same pace as if they were at school. And my perspective is that if that happens, if they end up missing out on what they might otherwise have got had things been normal, we can fix that after it's over. It really isn't the most important thing at this time. What's the most important thing? I think it's to try and keep ourselves on an even keel. Focusing on building and maintaining connection with our children will help us do that. So if school at home is causing major ructions in your household, then consider doing less of it, perhaps backing off altogether. Don't let this outside pressure, which is reaching in to shape family life, get any more in the way than it has to. If your relationship with your child is descending into snarls and tantrums and disputes about schoolwork, consider backing off. At this time, we really need to focus on connection. How do we do that? Special time is, just one of the most effective ways to build connection. It's a one-on-one playtime where you follow your child's lead in play. You enjoy them, you delight in them, you do what they want. If laughter comes up, you follow it. And you time it, shortish times, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. You really can't last long with truly following a child's lead, especially if they choose to do something that you really don't like doing. But this kind of time really fills your child's cup of connection, and they're going to need it more than ever. The events of the world will mean your children need plenty of reassurance that you're there for them, that you have confidence in them, that you're okay and they can trust their connection with you. And special time is really, the longer I work with special time, the clearer it is to me that it is one of the most efficient ways of doing that. And along with that, you really need to make sure you get the support that you need. We need to find listening partnerships to talk about how it makes us feel, to air our worries and our fears. And it's not that the fears aren't warranted in the current circumstances, but they will also be pulling up memories of much earlier hard times when we were young and when we were sort of much less able to take charge of things than we are now. So look after yourself. Don't let your relationship with your child descend into a constant snarl over schoolwork. If you aren't able to manage in your own home the demands that are being put on you, then please don't go down the rabbit hole of giving yourself a hard time. We so easily do that as parents. You really are doing the very best you can under really difficult circumstances. Be kind to yourself and cut everyone, including yourself, a break. We're going to need our reserves and our relationships for the times ahead. We really don't want to use up all of our relationship credit getting the schoolwork done, unless that's what's working for everyone. I'd really love to hear how you're managing to make it all work, or not work at the moment. These are times where we need to just be very kind. So good luck, stay well, and do stay in touch. Bye.